Bitch better have my money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Run me my dough, bitch.
Sit down.
I was just.
What's up? This your girl Johnny Blake. It's Cody Sharon. You already know I'm rocking.
Kill from the folk, kicking shit, man, with Chrishaydagoat. Yeah.
Yo, what's up? It's your favorite homegirl, Chrishaydagoat, and we back with another special edition of Kickin Shit. This time we're doing the criminal history of 42 Dugg. Now, this is a little different. I decided we want to revamp the channel in a way that we approach dialing down on hip-hop culture, but also dissecting like what's really going on. It's one thing for us to enjoy the music, but it's another thing for us to understand what's really going on. Before we get too deep into the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, because that's what we do here. We kick shit, we talk shit, but we also get down to the truth, like I always love to say. Again, thank y'all for being here, and let's get right into the video.
42 Dugg has definitely become one of hip-hop's biggest rising stars of 2020. The 25-year-old rapper from Detroit, Michigan, blasted onto the scene back in late 2018 after his song The Streets, featuring Babyface Ray, garnered some attention from hip-hop fans online. This ultimately caught the attention of Lil Baby and Yo Gotti, which led to 42 Dugg signing a collaborative record deal with both Lil Baby's 4PF Records and Yo Gotti's CMG label in early 2019. Ever since then, 42 Dugg has had just about back-to-back hits, with the most notable being the 2 features he had on Lil Baby's My Turn album.
Yeah, we
Grace
paid.
And We Paid. Grace was
even though I don't understand nothing he be saying, even though I don't understand nothing he be saying, and We Paid, it's still a smash. I ain't gonna lie, it's still a smash.
At number 48 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts, back on March 13th, 2020. The song has over 57 million views on YouTube at the time of this recording, and has spent a total of 15 weeks on the Billboard charts. We Paid, the second smash hit by Lil Baby and 42 Dugg, also reached the Billboard Hot 100 charts, and even peaked higher than Grace, reaching the number 10 spot on July 10th, 2020. The music video for We Paid is absolutely crushing it on YouTube, with almost 100 million views at the time of this recording. But even with all of this incredible success, 42 Dugg has faced several setbacks in life, with one of them requiring Dugg to spend 6 years in prison.
I'm like, let's get to the crime.
Dugg did to get himself
Not like I'm excited, but let's get to the backstory.
We've got you covered. Here's an exclusive inside look at the criminal history of 42 Dugg.
Let's go. Alright, here we go.
42 Dugg was born and raised in the dangerous east side of Detroit, Michigan. Although 42 Dugg hasn't really given anyone much information about his life growing up, it was known that Dugg was extremely... I think I hurt someone.
Of course, commercial breaks. But drop below, what do you guys already know about 42 Dugg? Before we get into the video, what is it that I have no privy of him other than Lil Baby signing with 4PF, and then also the We Paid song that being featured on Lil Baby's album. So other than that, tell me what y'all know about 42 Dugg.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer.
Really? Still a commercial. Alright, hold on.
Into partying. But despite the most likely harmless partying, Dugg unfortunately got himself caught up with the law back in 2010 after he was arrested for carjacking and felony firearms possession.
All jokes aside, how old is this man? Like, I thought he was only like 20, maybe 21. If he was getting arrested in 2010, what is that? Like, somebody fact check me. How old is 42 Dugg?
42 Dugg was only 15 years old at the time of his arrest.
Well, there you go.
But just because he was a minor doesn't mean that the court system gave him any breaks, because just a few months later, Dugg was found guilty of his charges and was sentenced to 4 years in prison. Now, due to the fact that he was only 15 years old, I kinda doubt that he was sent to an adult prison and was instead sent to some type of juvenile detention.
But still, that means regardless where he was sent, they took away his remainder of his childhood. Like, on Catch-22, that just lets you know, like, outside of hip-hop culture, but they do that to African Americans a lot. I mean, again, it's one thing to be reprimanded for doing wrong, but it's another thing for them to take away your innocence and a remainder of your childhood. Like, to give him 4 years was to basically say, until you grown, we got you.
center until he turned 18, where he would then be sent to an adult prison for the remainder of his sentence. That's just my theory, by the way, and is not confirmed at all. For all we know, he actually was just 15 years old, chilling with a bunch of grown men in prison. Anyways, while Dugg was nearing the end of his sentence, he ended up getting into a physical altercation with another inmate, which led to 42 Dugg getting sent to the hole, aka solitary confinement. For those of you who are unaware of what solitary confinement is, it's where an inmate is sent to a cell by themselves and is only allowed to leave for 1 hour of the day. That means 42 Dugg spent 23 hours a day, completely alone, for 3 months straight. While in solitary, Dugg obviously needed to find a way to entertain himself, and he did this by writing raps down in his notebook. Dugg claims that his raps weren't any good, but during the 1 hour out of his cell that he had each day, he would rap to the other inmates who actually really liked his music. 42 Dugg would continue to work on his craft throughout his entire stay in solitary.
That's the way to stay sane, though.
Once 3 months was up, Dugg found out that the altercation he had with the other inmate added another 2 years to his prison sentence.
Wow.
Look, Adam, yo, how much money?
That's how they get you too, though. They bam you up. They as in the system. You get in for whatever crime you did do, and then they don't create any restraints to not get into it with other inmates.
Turned into a 6-year sentence in the blink of an eye. Now, with nothing but time, Dugg continued writing more and more, and had several raps written by the time he was released in 2017. Once 42 Dugg was released, he started to go to local recording studios around his area, and eventually started to get the hang of recording songs in that type of professional environment. Several months later, Dugg ended up dropping 2 mixtapes during the summer of 2018, titled 11241 Wayburn and 11241 Wayburn Part 2. Shortly after, his song The Streets, featuring Babyface Ray, started to gain some attention online, which landed him in California, where he just so happened to meet Lil Baby while playing a dice game called CeeLo together. This simple game of dice ultimately led to a solid friendship between the two. And Lil Baby,
because I was wondering how Lil Baby goes from Atlanta to all the way Detroit to signing the artist. Like, it just happened overnight. So it seemed that it was like, is this strategic? Is he trying to branch outside of the Atlanta South scene and show that he can be a mogul to other type of artists? And how will this go? Because the cultures don't usually cross over too much without it being some toxic boundaries crossed. So thus far, it's been really, really interesting and really, really good to see.
To work on some music with him back in Atlanta just a few weeks later. During Dugg's time in Atlanta, he went to multiple studio sessions with Lil Baby, with one of them featuring a special and well-known guest, Yo Gotti. Gotti really liked what he heard and expressed interest in signing 42 Dugg to CMG. Lil Baby also had the intention of signing Dugg to his own label, 4PF, as well. But instead of going into one big bidding war over him, the two decided to make this a collaborative deal, which ended with 42 Dugg signing to both Yo Gotti's CMG label.
See, on one hand, that's what's up for Lil Baby and Yo Gotti to not be beefing over him. But on the other hand, and I guess for 42 Dugg, he didn't have to pick sides per se. But for Yo Gotti, that kind of, drop it in the comments below. Let me know if you feel like this is Yo Gotti infringing on Lil Baby's artist. Because respectfully, he could have did the deal with Baby, got everything, the same stuff he getting in both of the deals combined together, and only been up on the one label. It's low-key now like he has to figure out how to pay and get from up under CMG and 4PF. 4PF. So it's like, it's a catch-22. It's like you get the opportunity, and that's why I'm doing these. I want to dissect not only the music, but the music industry and let y'all know what the fuck really going on, because that's a catch-22. It sound good now, but in recouping money and funds and what they're putting into 42 Dugg, he got a lot of people to pay back. That's all I'm saying.
And Lil Baby's 4PF through Empire Records in March of 2019. And for the rest of that year, Dugg was putting in a lot of work for both labels. At this point, 42 Dugg had nothing but greatness in his future. That was until March 10th, 2020. Just less than 2 weeks after Lil Baby's highly anticipated album, My Turn, dropped. which had 2 viral songs featuring Dugg. On that day, 42 Dugg was
When I grew up,
He was arrested on the day the album was released? Like, didn't know that at all. Of course I heard the single, but I didn't know he got arrested.
on federal weapons charges. According to Detroit News, back in November of 2019, federal agents received an anonymous tip that Dugg went to Stoddard's Range and Guns in Atlanta and allegedly fired a weapon. Investigators ended up getting a hold of the surveillance footage from Stoddard's, which was enough evidence to arrest for.
Wow, really? He went to a gun range to shoot guns, so therefore he was arrested. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't the furthest stretch that the police have made, even down to Meek Mill being arrested and us having to protest to get him out for riding dirt bikes. But seriously, y'all looking for a reason. Don't get me wrong. Crime is crime. The regulations of what you should and shouldn't do is what was said. But at the end of the day, this is innocent. Innocent enough that he ain't aiming it at nobody else and shooting them intentionally. Now, if y'all don't want the man to be out here training, this ain't like Floyd Mayweather. He got to register his hands. But okay, I digress. I see what y'all trying to do there, though. I see you, government. I see you.
42 Dugg. For those of you who are unaware, Dugg's previous convictions from back in 2010, when he was just 15 years old, made it so he legally cannot possess a firearm.
He's giving
It
here
was
a
also
felon.
noted that once in custody, the authorities seized Dugg's cell phone and found multiple photos of firearms, as well as large quantities of kush. They also allegedly discovered.
Did they find photos of him shooting said firearms or smoking said kush? Because if not, those are not credible evidence.
Discovered threatening text messages to an unidentified individual, as well as details about a Dodge Challenger covered in bullet holes being towed from Dugg's house. He was temporarily held in a Michigan jail without bond. As
Well,
he
that
waited
a little something else.
extradition to Atlanta, Georgia, where the alleged.
Comment below what y'all think happened. Or if y'all know what happened, let me know.
42 Dugg had a court hearing where the judge granted him a $10,000 bond, but federal prosecutors ended up appealing the judge's decision and unfortunately won. This caused Dugg to sit in jail for another 5 days until he was finally released on a $10,000 bond without having to be extradited to Atlanta due to coronavirus. As of today, this case is still ongoing, but I have a solid feeling that the outcome will be in 42 Dugg's favor. I think this because Dugg was convicted of his previous charges when he was pretty young, and with his new successful career, the judge may just give him a little break. I'm not saying he'll get off completely, but maybe some supervised monitoring instead of jail time. But once again, this is just my own personal theory. Since his release on March 17th, 2020, 42 Dugg's career has not.
You would hope they would give him a slap on the wrist and not put him in jail. But then it's a catch-22 because it's like, he could have been training for some other shit like what they found in them text messages. So you just never know, man. You never know.
Music, and was even trending on Twitter just a few days ago. Dugg is also free to travel, despite being out on bond, and has posted multiple pictures and videos of him on social media, buying extremely lavish and expensive items, such as jewelry from Icebox in Atlanta, and one-of-a-kind shoes.
I'm starting to think Icebox with the feds. I don't know.
Overall, things are looking extremely good for 42 Dugg, and I can't wait to see what he does in the near future. Hopefully his case gets put behind him as soon as possible, so he can focus 100% on furthering his career. Well, there you have it. The entire criminal history of 42 Dugg in one YouTube video. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to leave a like and even consider subscribing and turning the notification bell.
Man, this gets crazy, y'all.
Whenever we
really let me know, like, how do y'all feel about all of this? Because it gets really, really crazy when you're talking about this. Like, let me know how all of y'all feel about this. Again, let me know in the comments below. Like, why is it that these new artists thus far that are coming out are very gang related or criminal? Again, don't get me. I know the roles overlap for the street life and the rap life, but how do you see profit in, again, it's the epitome of when Gucci was in and out of jail during the beginning of his career. And that's one artist. But nowadays it seems like it's every artist. Like, you are having to manage not only the artists when they're out of jail, but keeping them out of jail, and if they do go to jail, like, so I really just want to know, like, how is this gonna play out? Again, we watched the Meek Mill thing play out over the course of a decade. We've seen a lot of rappers go in and out of jail, from the Gucci's to the T.I. But it's just interesting to me how police and the rap industry intertwine. Like, it definitely like looking for something constantly, but it's also like just giving them information voluntarily. And again, that's why I want to dissect a lot of these reviews and get down to the vocal, what the fuck really going on in hip hop culture. But again, like I said before, I love you guys. Drop some comments below. Let me know how you felt about the criminal history of 42 Dugg. And let me know any other reviews you'd like to see me do on this channel. I love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Turn your post notifications on. It's your girl, Chrishaydagoat. Love y'all. See you later. Peace.
What? What the fuck?